There was a convention in London this week, and in that, revealing of what Admiral Picard's uniform looked like. That and a few other little things after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and what we found out in London was that the comic books that have been talked about of being released during November have given us kind of a preview of what Admiral Picard's uniform looked like. In this 3 comic book series, it's going to take Picard from the time that Nemesis ended up until the beginning of the action in Star Trek Picard. So it will fill in some of the events that happened in the 20 years prior and give us kind of a semi-canonical preview as what to expect, or at least where Picard stands after that. We want to know what that armada was that he put together. We've had some guesses at that. We want to know just what it is that caused him to want to leave Starfleet and what it is that's making him want to go back. And we probably will answer some of those questions before the series begins with this comic book that's being released next month. But anyway, for now, we have a picture of the Admiral's uniform. It looks very much like the old TNG design, but with some flourishes. The sleeves have kind of a angling kind of thing, and the striping on it is somewhat more angled. The rank pips are on the collar as they were in TNG, but in the new series, it would appear that the rank pips have moved to the chest. We're not sure exactly. Haven't really gotten a good look at those uniforms, and obviously they could have changed in between the time of Picard's leaving Starfleet and this next group coming in. So we'll know more about that. Speaking of uniforms, we noticed also in looking back over the trailer for Discovery that their uniforms are going to be a little looser fitting and a little less formal. Evidently, as Starfleet has become kind of a thing of the past in the 900 years since Discovery left its current time, it's not as important for them to wear starched and carefully tailored Starfleet uniforms. So they're going to go to something that's a little more informal, a little more comfortable, and I kind of like that. I always thought that those uniforms looked just a little bit not so utilitarian, if you ask me. I always liked the more informal look that even the original series uniforms had. We'll see what comes of that. Anyway, the comic book series should be rather interesting in that since it's going to fill in so much of the backstory, that we'll know a whole lot more about Picard's motivations for leaving the Federation and what it is that became of the world after the Dominion War and other events that followed the last canonical Starfleet things. Now, because of this comic book is kind of a prequel to the series, I don't know if you would call it canonical or not. I will call it semi-canonical because it's being supervised by basically the same people that are putting the series together. So it's a good study guide as to what to expect before we go into the new series. Anyway, we are going to be preparing for an onslaught of new shows coming up in the next couple of months. Starting in December, we're going to have the beginnings of the new season of The Expanse and Lost in Space. We no doubt will see something from Doctor Who earlier in the year, along with the early in the year premiere of Star Trek Picard. We'll expect Discovery to come probably in the spring, and the Below Decks cartoon series to come somewhere in between. So if you're a fan of any of these shows, we're going to have a lot to talk about, and we hope that you'll be here for it. So we hope that you'll subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know when the next video comes your way. And until we come up with something different, don't go far.